Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 4, Episode 15. And this morning, I am driving a different car. So, last night, I went to the car dealer. Well, I was on my way home, and I said to my wife, I'm going to come home real quick, give you your van back, and I'm going to take my old car to the guy to trade it in. And she said, well, what about the truck? And I said, oh man, I forgot I had that truck. So she had to come with me. We took one of the kids with us, and we drove over there. She drove behind me to make sure, just in case anything happened to my old car, that she'd be there. We got there, we dropped off the old car, traded that in for a little bit of money, and then gave him his truck back, so all that was good. Got everything out of my old car before we left home. Got there, and there was a similar car. It was the same year Ford Escape, 160,000 miles on it, fully loaded, moonroof, leather, everything, and he wanted $3,500 for it. Initially, he wanted $4,000, got it for $3,500. So he gave me a check back for the difference between what I paid for the BMW and the trade-in for the other car. So I ended up with a check back that I'll deposit in the next couple days, and I got this car. This car has no lights on, no check engine lights or anything like that. I do see a couple small, tiny items. I think one of the turn signals might be burned out. You know how, like, when you use a turn signal and it flashes really quickly, usually that means a bulb is out, so I'll get that replaced. And then I don't know if you can hear it. Listen. You hear that, like, little whine. That's the air coming out of the vent. It's like that little whine. I know it's nothing, but I want to figure out what that is and get that taken care of. If I turn up the fan, it kind of disappears. So I know it has something to do with the airflow, and maybe it's constricted from the air filter or whatever. I'll get a new air filter and stuff in there, and hopefully that's all good. This morning, temperature is a lot better. I don't know if this car should have it, 16 degrees outside, and looks like it's going to be a lot better day today. And I'm just getting on the highway and starting my trip. I will need to stop for gas before my first casino. See, listen. It's that light whine. I don't know. Anyway, it increases and then it goes away once you get to a certain speed. So anyway, we'll do that, and we'll stop at our first stop, and then I have a meeting, and then we'll continue on with our day. And then toward the end of the day, actually not that late into the day, I have kind of a big problem. I have a 2-hour meeting. I want to try to time it where I leave the area that I'm going to at that time. I'll have an hour drive to the next casino, and I can do that hour meeting during that time. I can do the first 10 or 15 minutes of the meeting in the parking lot of a casino, and then once I know I'm not going to be called on, I'll drive an hour during the meeting, and then stop at the casino that I'm going to and finish up the meeting. I think by doing that, I save an hour that I would normally be sitting in a parking pardon me, instead of sitting in a parking lot listening to the meeting. I'll be driving, and I'll only lose an hour of my day. So that's where we are right now. Just heading out, need a drink of water, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back, and as I'm continuing on, it is snowing hard. A lot of snow coming down. How do you like the road noise? Not bad, right? I'm doing about 80 right now, so I think that's pretty good for an older car. But it is snowing hard. The temperature is going up though, so that's good. We're up to 19 outside. I did do a couple things online last night and this morning. Made about $400 with those, so that's always helpful. And so everything is good. So right now I have a meeting that just started that I'm not going to be a part of. It's an optional meeting, and I have another meeting that I'm going to do after my first stop. I did stop and get some fuel, so everything is good. I should be good until the trip home, and then I'll stop on the way home, get some more gas. So overall, everything's good. Made some money, got some fuel. I'll be able to stop at one casino before having a meeting. Now this meeting is going to be with my manager and the head of the European group that we have, so got to make sure I'm in a good position. I'm on camera, unfortunately, so I'll have to take my jacket off in the car. So when I'm on camera, it doesn't look like I'm wearing anything, a jacket anyway. Yeah, so that's where we are right now. Traffic is not too bad, and although it's snowing a lot, it's not terrible. So we'll see what happens. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am leaving this casino, and it looks like the snow stopped, but it was really slippery as I was coming into this place. So hopefully the roads are a little bit better than they were 45 minutes ago or an hour ago when I got here. Checking the temperature, still about the same, so I'm not getting any help there. Really not much happening here. I checked a lot of things. I made like $58 on the first machine I played, and I lost like $48 on the second machine I played, and that was about it. So unfortunately, not much happening here. And I did take care of my meeting in the parking garage at this place, so that's all out of the way. So the only thing I have is a meeting in about 4 hours, and I'm an hour away from my next stop. So I'm going to have 3 hours of time to play. I'm going to play probably 2 different casinos, get as much in as possible, and then I'm going to start heading back toward home and do that hour, one of the 2 hours in the car as I'm driving back to this location and heading back toward home. So that's going to be the plan for today, plus $10 at the first stop, and we're moving on. Hopefully better things to come. All right, guys, I am back. Rough one. That was a rough one, and a long one. I walk in looking at slots, find nothing. End up finding one blackjack table I want to play. I go to that table, sit down, buy in for 300, and lost that. Bought in for 3 more, lost that. Bought in for 4 more, lost that. I was involved on that table. By the time everything was done, I was involved 3,600, and I had a really high count on a shoe, and I kept raising and raising and raising. So I spread 50 to 2 by 600 on that one, and then this guy comes to the table, buys in for 5,000 at the end of my shoe with a high count, and end up doing poorly toward the end, and then end up coming back a little bit and end that session down $100 because I left at the end of that shoe because that guy was there. I actually almost doubled down that last hand, but that would have been a hunch. I didn't do that, so I would have won, but it doesn't matter either way. It wasn't the right move, and I didn't make it, so I ended that session minus 100. Then I went to the high limit area and spread one hand at 100 to one hand at 1,000, and I was there for a little over an hour and just got killed. I had so many high counts, and just overall just was getting killed every big opportunity. My last hand was a pair of aces. I had a $200 handout, and I got 2 aces. I split those, and I end up with a 3 and a 4, and lost a hand. I don't know what the dealer had. It doesn't matter. I lost a hand, and I ended that session down 7,300. So that was a killer session. It was so depressing and demoralizing. Snowing outside, it's cold, it's windy, it's awful. And I've got a meeting in 15 minutes right now. It's going to be 2 hours in the car, so I've got to leave town. I did play some slots, and I ended that ahead just over $900. So we'll call it $900 even. So plus 900 on the slots. And I talked to another Advantage player that's a very knowledgeable Advantage player, and we got each other's phone number, and we might work on something together. I hope so, because he's been around for a really long time, a lot more knowledgeable than me, and so it would be good to be able to work with somebody like that. Again, with this guy, I can't really talk about who he is or anything like that, but another big player that I know that hopefully we can make something happen. Just in a really bad mood about this right now. You know, blackjack this year has just been so bad. I've had 2 really bad sessions. Right now for the year, I'm down about 6,000 or 5,800 on the blackjack. So not good, not good. Anyway, with it being this close to my meeting, I really shouldn't get on the road, but I'm going to try to get out of the immediate area to a little quieter area, and start my meeting, and then hopefully things go smooth enough with the meeting that I'm not going to have to do any talking, and in that case I will be driving on to my next casino, which is not going to be worse than this casino. Obviously it can't get any worse than that, so, which you should never say, but I really feel like I have a lot better opportunity anywhere I go than what just happened just now. So anyway, yeah, the highway is dirty. There's snow everywhere. It's all right. I'm gonna try to get 10 miles down the road and pull over and start this meeting, and I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. All right. I've been holding this in for a long time, so I'm gonna let it out here. It's probably healthy for me to let it out. Just leaving this casino, a little bit frustrated. I absolutely was not going to leave this casino down, and I think that's a problem. I really do. I was so frustrated in there. The games there were so many people checking slot machines in there. This is in the middle of nowhere. Where all these Asian people are coming from, I have no idea. I don't understand what is happening here. There's so many aggressive people all of a sudden in this area that's normally just a quiet little area with nothing going on, and most people know each other. I mean, I probably know 10% of the people who are playing in this casino. I mean, I know a lot of people in this casino. And all of a sudden, these people are coming in from nowhere, and they're camping out, and they're hanging out. They're not leaving. They're very aggressive. That's frustrating in itself. Hold on, because it's just going to take a minute here. So if you don't want to hear me complain, you may want to, I don't know, fast forward or something. I don't know. I get in, I find a machine to play. I play it. I lose like $40, $30, something like that. And then I find another one, and I play that one, and I just get toasted on that one. I get killed on that one. And all of a sudden now I'm down like 380, 420, somewhere in there. And I'm so frustrated because I know the opportunity is so small in here at this point, because there are so many people in here. So, but I decide, that's fine, I've got time. All right, well, let me back up for a second. I had that meeting. That meeting was 2 hours long. I got here about 55 minutes after the meeting started, so there was a long way to go. And it was a boring meeting. I'm talking as boring as could possibly be. That's how this meeting was. It was just, I mean, to have a non-English speaker do a lecture on technology and programming to a group of people who have not done it before, sharing the screen with a tiny print, and you can't understand what he's talking about for 2 hours, is a very frustrating experience. I don't know if you've ever gone through anything like that before. I remember when I was in college, I was taking I think it was a macroeconomics class, and if you're about my age and you're from my area, you'll know exactly what's going. You'll remember this. There was a guy. He was, I want to guess, Chinese, and short guy, real short guy, like unusually short, has a limp, and he's got one arm, and the other arm has 2 fingers, and you can't understand what he's talking about. Funny enough, that microeconomics class actually ended up being this German guy that had an accent so thick that you couldn't understand him either, and that was graded on such a curve. Maybe it was Russian, but it was such a curve that I remember I got like a 55% on the final, and it was a B+. That is bad teaching, by the way. Anyway, I don't know where I was going with that, but I was going with how frustrating it was that you couldn't understand what someone was talking about, kind of like you can't understand what the heck I'm talking about right now. Anyway, I'm in this place, I'm down, and I've had such a bad day today already. I don't want to lose any more money. I don't care if it's $1. I don't want to lose anything today. I've had it today. And I was very frustrated, and I'm very down on myself today, and I'm second guessing everything. I'm looking back at all the plays that I did and how I played them, and I'm not finding anything that I did wrong. And I'm like, how could it just happen like that, just with pure variance? The amount, it's like 3 times standard deviation, 3 standard deviations. So it's like 99.6 or worse chance that this is not going to happen, and it happened the way that it did. So I was extremely frustrated from before, and in talking to this guy at this casino a while back, he said, I'm sick of this place. He lives in that area. He said, I'm going to move to Vegas in a couple of years, and he's into a lot of higher level play that most people don't talk about. I mean, we can talk about it here, but I just don't want it to be attached to him. So for now, I'm going to let it go. And I told him, I said, if you want to work on something together, we'll work on it together. And we're talking about some team play, possibly at that casino that I lost a bunch of money on. And if we do that, we're going to try to hit it hard, and whatever happens, happens. Because I'm just pretty frustrated there. Back to this story here. So I just continue walking around and around and around and around, like 20 times around this big casino. And I pick up $25, $15, $5, $7, lose $20, up $30, up and down, these really low level numbers. And I did that for probably an hour. Well, I can tell you how long. I did that for 2 hours. And I finally ended up leaving ahead $43. But there's something more to it too that's frustrating. On top of everything else that's frustrating today, there's a machine that is probably 100 spins away from hitting probably $3,000. It's about $4 a spin. They have it locked down. I asked them, why is this locked down? Because I saw it was ready to go. I saw them talking to this guy, and I heard them getting permission to turn it off. They claim that the bill acceptor is full. And I said, well, okay, I can help you fix that. All you got to do, you open it up and you push the bills down, and because a lot of the bills are wrinkled up, it kind of takes up more room than it needs to, And by pushing it down, you make enough room for 2 or 3 or 4 bills. And they're thinking about it, and they'll let me know and all that, which means we're not going to do anything. So when do they clean out the machines? 4 a.m., 3 a.m.? I have no idea. Am I going to come here at 3 a.m. and hope that the guy didn't hit that machine when I wasn't looking? Because to drive all the way here and then it's already been hit, or even worse, have someone else sitting here waiting by the time I get here, and then they get to play and they win the money, it's very frustrating. And the fact that they wouldn't let me see the screen, they blacked it out so you couldn't see what was on the screen, made it even worse. I mean, at least I could know one way or another what's happening. So that's what's going on there, and it's a very, very frustrating experience right now. You know, one small outlet that I have that I didn't really have before is that I can go live with YouTube now, and I've done it recently, and there's a nice group of people there. I might go live here in a little bit and see who shows up, and we might be able to talk a little bit. But yeah, just a frustrating day overall. And what's worse is tomorrow should be a local day, which is even more frustrating because I need to win this money back. I can't just leave it like this. So anyway, I think my month is close to dead even, or maybe up 2,000 or 3,000 for the month. It's not very good right now. So definitely going to be way behind at this point. And with that vacation we have scheduled, I'll be out of commission for about a week. So it could get pretty rough here for a while. So anyway, got a lot of thinking to do. Gonna head toward home. We'll do our segments real quick. They're gonna be fast because not much happened. What did you eat today, MW? Nothing. I had a Snickers bar, a bag of chips, and a Red Bull, and that's all I've had to eat today. What did you tip today, MW? And the answer is, are you kidding? I didn't tip anything today because there was no way I was gonna tip anybody when I was losing like that today. So kind of a frustrating day. I think I'm gonna go live for a few minutes and maybe talk to a few of my friends, and I'll catch up with you tomorrow. You know, I think a lot of times when you have big wins, it makes your viewership higher and more people want to see what's going on and stuff. But I'm just keeping it real and being honest with what's going on. And honestly, it's a frustrating time for me right now. I got 100 irons in the fire right now, and they're all just yielding me a tiny bit of money, and I need to consolidate and figure out what I'm going to do. So anyway, I'm going to let you go for now, and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright, I think I'm just going to wrap it up. I'll catch up with you tomorrow. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.